Hey guys, it's Kussi. While Season 1 of Midnight is drawing nearer and with Blizzard already announcing heaps of new stuff coming with the new patch, your boy had to ask himself the important questions. What to do, what to play, and...
Did Michael Jackson do it?
Yet, even though not all questions will be answered in this video, one specific question will. I've decided what to play. Welcome to...
Operation Midnight Hammer.
Get it? Cause Midnight and it's a gnome and hammer. Though, quick disclaimer, not a Zero to Hero as you know it from this channel, but with a similar vibe to it for sure. Zero to Hero will also come soon, around the time when Mythic Plus will be available, so keep your eyes peeled for that one. The truth is, Arms Warrior has been left in the gutter for the past few patch cycles, because in the hidden non-public databases of Blizzard, they apparently keep performing, which totally justifies all the nerfs, I'm sure. Even though if you ask everybody and their fat Uncle Steve, they will tell you that Arms is unplayable, undesirable, and brings nothing to the table besides being a new affix to the party. So I wanted to see what the fuzz is about. Is Arms that bad? Surely not. Surely this is just some slick clickbait YouTube propaganda to farm clicks and mad comments from people that really would be an Arms main if they weren't this bad right now, even though they don't even play the game. I even saw some people saying that Arms in Classic feels more satisfying than on Retail, which has the same level of truth to it than when I said I missed my bus to school as a child. But I want to know why even the face of Mythic Plus's warrior scene started playing Mage out of all classes. I wanted to know if the 4th Apex talent is really so bad that you purposely don't pick it so you can go with Avatar instead. So with all of that to keep in mind, Operation Midnight Hammer started. A beacon of hope to all my brothers in Arms. I get it, because I'm pretty proud on that one actually. I will play this more or less as a main for, well, for now, until either Blizzard decides to buff it to oblivion, even though they already posted some nerfs coming into the next big patch for whatever reason, or if I get rank 1, just so I can make guides even Swifty gets moist over. All while taking you on that journey with me, explaining what I do, because I do in fact got some rules for myself and the build I'm playing, which I will explain to you in a hot minute with some raw as data to show the results of these decisions that are potentially questionable. And while I talk, I just keep that sweet Windrunner Spire Mythic Zero run in the back, which I had this gear for, in dire need for a screenshot of me popping off so I can clickbait your asses into watching this video. Oh, and if you hear any background noises, there's construction work going on next door, and for like 2 weeks now, I don't know what to do. With that being said, let's talk about the talents I'm going for. For now, it's this, at least for the Mythic Zero scenario. And while not all of this is set in stone, one specific thing is, I will play the spec the way Blizzard intended it to be played. What I mean by that is, no Avatar. And before you give me the same nicknames I already had in school, like Dumbass, Baby Dick, or
Gaylord Gladiator.
Hear me out. Avatar was supposed to be gone for Arms. Matter of fact, the spot in which Avatar is now was vacant, and they only added it at the very end whenever they decided that their original idea either didn't fly or they wanted to add something which they didn't have the time to code proper. And you can see proof of that by looking at the 4th Apex talent point. 2-second cooldown reduction on Colossal Smash whenever you use the Heroic Strike, which we procced from our first point. Now this sounds good if you don't consider the problem. Avatar has 90 seconds cooldown, Colossal Smash 45. Anger Management reduces both of these spells by the same amount of time whenever you spend Rage, meaning you end up with having the big burst window and then a minor burst window until Avatar comes back around and you have the big burst window again. So it's always big burst, little burst, big burst, little burst. With Master of Dogfare rank 3, you completely cuck yourself from that linked up cooldown management. So you have to choose between Avatar or the 4th point, and if we look at the numbers, taking Avatar is an overall of roughly 10% increase in damage. My sims here were basic sims without Bloodlust on 5 minutes, both single target and constant 5 targets, just to see the numbers. 10% is nothing to sneeze at, and yet I don't care. Now, is the final perk of Master of Warfare pretty bad compared to other specs? Yeah, absolutely. Is it insane that you pretty much lose 10% DPS for playing it? You bet, but that's the joy of it. The truth is, eventually it comes down to the whole picture. The picture being Apex talents, hero talents, and tier set. So let's look at the upcoming set for us and why this would make sense. The 2 set, whatever. Not impressive, extra damage, cool. The 4 piece, however, is pretty neat. Extending your Colossal Smash debuff is absolutely huge, and I tell you why 1 second maybe seems bad, but it's actually quite decent. You see, Colossal Smash increases enemy damage taken by 30% for 10 seconds. Pretty big. 45 seconds cooldown, but with Anger Management and Master of Warfare, probably more like 30. Now, I tell you that once you use Colossal Smash, you receive 3 cleave charges that will not trigger a cooldown, meaning you can use an overall of 4 cleaves instantly to extend the duration by 4 seconds. And then you still got 10 seconds to spend, in which you probably cleave once or twice again. Extra huge considering that during Ravager, your cleave hits way harder than the Mortal Strike too. But when we go for raw numbers, you probably can extend this by 5, maybe 6 seconds? Maybe even 7 if you squeeze in some Mortal Strikes on the prior target. Which means you not only can you almost double the duration, but it also means if you take the cooldown that it actually has in consideration, you almost have a 50% uptime on that shit. In theory, big theory here, this will mean ARMS will slap pretty hard during AoE pulls, and they already do that. They don't peak on Omega DPS like mages do, but the DPS on anything beyond 3 targets is pretty acceptable. The only problem is single target. And here's where I will have to make some experiments in the future, twisting some talents around, aiming for more single target oriented damage, or maybe even a trinket that will help me with that. Because, truth be told, it feels pretty shit to decide between single target or AoE in the talents, if neither of them is actually pretty strong. And yet, here's where the justification comes into play. Because whenever you beat a paladin, a survival hunter, or a warlock in the pool, you feel pretty good about yourself. Until you hit the boss only and figure out that you are so far below everybody else that just has the single target being baked into their AoE talents. But when it comes to rules of this, because it's season 1 and I don't really know how insane the free gear will be that you get nowadays, and because ARMS is at the spot where they are right now, I'ma say anything goes for now. So crafting, catalyst, raids, you name it. However, I will not craft any weapons. I want to be excited to loot one from the vault or the raid, and crafting a weapon that you will just use for the entire expansion without ever changing it left a very sour taste in my mouth during the War Within. So no weapon crafts, and we maybe look for some unconventional embellishments for the joy of being a
Gaylord Gladiator.
We will defy the meta new while keeping old traditions alive. Declining every BM hunter, for example. Losing head-to-head competitions with other players playing the same class, and dirt napping like there's no tomorrow. My mission is clear. Prove to Blizzard that they know in fact gaming, they know how busted ARMS is, and they want to lower players' motivation to play it, because they also know that if all of us would play ARMS, that level of testosterone will dust the servers to pieces. So be ready, and be part of this journey, as I will stream most of it live for you to come in, hang out, or even participate. Let Operation Midnight Hammer be the beacon of hope that will teach us anything is possible if you're dumb enough not to be reasoned with. And if you still got your doubts, or even more so, ask yourself, why Kusi? Why are you doing this? Then let me quickly remind you that I'm in fact a 2 times rank 1
Gaylord Gladiator.